I should have been happy. 10 years of marriage. A decade of love, commitment, memories. The room was filled with our closest friends and family, their faces glowing under the soft chandelier light. Our favorite restaurant, where we had our first date, had been transformed into something magical: twinkling lights, a jazz quartet, an open bar. And then there was my wife, Emily, standing at the center of it all, holding a champagne glass, smiling at me like I was the only man in the world. God, I wanted to believe that smile. She tapped her glass with a fork, the gentle chime silencing the laughter in conversations. "Everyone," she said, her voice warm and steady, "thank you for being here tonight to celebrate 10 amazing years with the love of my life." A soft murmur of approval rippled through the crowd. I swallowed, shifting in my seat. Lately, something had felt off. She'd been distracted, guarded, laughing at messages on her phone but turning it face down when I entered the room. A distance had settled between us, the kind that creeps in unnoticed until suddenly, one day, you wake up and realize you don't quite know the person sleeping beside you. I pushed the thought away. Tonight wasn't about doubts. Emily continued, "Marriage isn't just about the good times. It's about pushing through the hard ones, holding on when things get tough." And Alex, her eyes found mine, glass raised. "I love you more today than I did when we first said I do." Applause. Cheers. My throat tightened. I wanted to believe her. And then it happened. The projector behind her flickered, casting a glow over the wall. It had been looping through old pictures of us all: evening vacations, holidays, lazy Sunday mornings. But now, something new had appeared. Text messages. At first, people didn't notice. A few chuckled, assuming it was part of a speech. But I knew Emily. I knew her expressions like the back of my hand. And the way her face drained of color, the way her fingers tightened around the glass, told me this wasn't planned. She turned. I watched as her body stiffened, as her breath hitched in her throat. And then, the glass slipped from her fingers, shattering against the floor. Silence. The words on the screen seared into my mind before she could even try to explain. "Emily, I miss you. When can I see you again? Unknown number, soon. He won't suspect a thing. Emily, God, I can't stop thinking about you." My stomach dropped. A slow murmur spread through the crowd. People shifted uncomfortably, exchanging awkward glances. Someone coughed. Emily spun to face me, her lips parting, eyes wide with something that might have been panic. "Alex, I stood. I don't remember knocking over my chair, but I remember the sound of it hitting the floor. I remember the way my heart pounded so loudly that it drowned out the music, the whispers, the world. It's not what it looks like," she stammered, stepping forward. I took a step back. "Then what is it, Emily?" My voice was quiet. Too quiet. Tears welled in her eyes. "Please, not here. Let's talk." "No," I said, my voice hardening. "We talk now." People were pretending not to stare, but their curiosity hung in the air like humidity before a storm. The jazz band had stopped playing. The waiter by the bar looked frozen mid-pour. She reached for me. "Alex, please." I pulled away. "Who is he?" She swallowed, her breath unsteady. It was just a mistake. A mistake." I felt something inside me crack, something fragile and naive, something that had believed in her, in us, in the idea that love, if strong enough, could weather anything. "How long?" I asked. She hesitated. "Too long." And I knew. 6 months, she whispered. The words sliced through me like a blade. A sharp, bitter laugh escaped my lips. 6 months, I repeated. "And you stood here, telling everyone how much you love me?" Tears slipped down her cheeks. "I do love you." I shook my head. "No. You love the idea of me. Of this. I gestured at the room, at the people who had come to celebrate something that, as it turned out, had already crumbled. Alex, please, let's go somewhere private and. I exhaled, the weight of it all pressing down on me. And then I said the words that sealed it. I think we're done here. She gasped, her hands clasping together, as if holding onto something slipping through her fingers. I turned, walking through the stunned silence, my heartbeat echoing in my ears. I didn't know where I was going, just that I needed to leave. The restaurant, the anniversary, the lie. Outside, the air was cool against my burning skin. I sucked in a breath, my hands trembling. It should have hurt more. Maybe it would later. But right then, standing under the glow of the streetlights, I felt something unexpected. Relief. Not because it didn't matter. It did. But because, for the first time in months, I wasn't questioning, second-guessing, wondering. I knew. And that meant I could finally move forward. I pulled out my phone, ignoring the buzzing notifications from people inside. My fingers hovered over Emily's name for a moment. Then, with a deep breath, I blocked her number. And walked away.